Brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.
If they don't reach a resolution soon, it will become a big problem for the entire island.
I think it went as well as we could have hoped. I think we clearly laid out the case for why we are entitled to relief on all the claims that we presented. I think we established that absent some change, that there's a lot of problems, that the military buildup is going to come to a halt and we're going to reach critical mass very soon.
On Tuesday, a lawsuit over the denial of H-2B visas was heard in District Court. The lawsuit was filed by the Guam Contractors Association and about 12 Guam companies against the federal government. Over the last year, Guam Department of Labor has noticed drastic drops in approvals of H-2B workers, with nearly a 100% denial rate. In court today, the plaintiff's attorney, Jeff Joseph, noted Guam went from nearly 1,000 approvals to just 4 in the last year.
Without relief, every one of us, all of you, are going to be impacted by what we heard today in court.
During the hearing, Joseph says there would be about 10,000 imported workers for the military buildup. However, with the H-2B denials, there's, quote, no way to fulfill the need. He ultimately said the denial of H-2B visas will have an unbelievable impact on Guam's economy across the board. Meanwhile, Glenn Gerdharry, representing the Department of Justice, reiterated repeatedly that the practical aspects of the denial of petitions was, quote, unfortunate. He noted USCIS has a long-standing interpretation of what temporary means, adding the plaintiff's case does not meet the statute of a temporary need. He added the approval of a petition 1 year did not necessarily require or guarantee the approval the next. He ultimately says the plaintiffs have failed to demonstrate they suffered from irreparable harm. Meanwhile, Joseph responds.
And we wouldn't be in this position if the agency continued to adjudicate cases like they have for the past 30 years. So unfortunately, the way that things are and the impact is not the result of the plaintiffs or abuse of the system, which is what they've alleged. It's that the agency has changed long-standing policy with regard to these adjudications without explanation.
Meanwhile, District Court Magistrate Judge Joaquin Manabusan said it's, quote, disturbing if Congress approved the relocation of Marines and expects certain things done here on Guam without having workers. While DOJ reiterated that the agency's interpretation of temporary has been what it has always been, Manabusan questioned whether that's justified if we don't have the buildup because we don't have the manpower. In regards to the buildup, he said, quote, this is for our country. Our country is at stake. At the end of the nearly 3-hour hearing, Manabusan says he would take the matter under submission and submit a recommendation to the chief judge. Meanwhile, Joseph indicated that both parties are in discussions about a possible settlement agreement that would best serve the interests of the government. Details of the settlement agreement will be presented to the court in 2 weeks. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.
Brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.